Good evening. You're joining the State of Business on Art Television. I'm Nishani Pigera, and here are tonight's headlines. Environmentally Friendly Solution Fund scheme launched in Colombo. And third edition of Christmas Fest to begin on the 20th of December. In tonight's main story, the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Rishad Badiuddin, highlighted the importance of developing the industry sector within the country. He also stated that the country should align itself with sustainable development goals in order to move forward. Minister Rishad Badiuddin expressed these views during the launch of eFriends 11, an environmentally friendly solution fund loan scheme organized by the Ministry of Industry and Commerce.
The industry sector share in our GDP is almost 30% and is relevant for our economy. Therefore, developing our industries is an important factor in developing our economy as well as generating employment. Modern industrial development efforts, unlike in the past, requires a sustainable approach. The unity government's economic reforms, therefore, focus on the UN Sustainable Development Goals framework. We have recently signed the 2018 to 2022 UN Sustainable Development Framework agreement with the UN. The Sri Lankan SDG targets are moved forward along this and implemented in many ways. Firstly, improved data and knowledge management. Secondly, strengthening of public institutions for lasting peace. Thirdly, socio-economic resilience. And finally, resilience to climate change and disaster. Sri Lanka's reform efforts are being developed under the 2018 to 2020 UNSDF, that is, the government signed recently. UN's SDG framework also focuses on sustainable environment practices as well. In fact, the Ministry of Industry and Commerce with UNIDO has recently commenced SDG 9 framework for industries.
Speaking further, the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Rishad Badiuddin, stated that this new loan scheme will aid industries and entrepreneurs within the country to commence their green initiatives and overcome environmental problems that hinder development. The minister also noted that the ministry is planning to distribute approximately 5 billion rupees under this loan scheme.
As per the agreement between the government of Sri Lanka and Japan Bank for International Cooperation, relending of repaid loans was allowed. Accordingly, PMU has started implementing this scheme to provide loans for entrepreneurs and industries throughout Sri Lanka at low interest rate. Sri Lanka has comprehensive laws to protect its environment, and institutions such as the Central Environmental Authority, which are implementing these regulations from time to time. Since the early 1970s, international donors have supported and initiated environmental programs in Sri Lanka, and also financial support was given to our industries to overcome environmental problems. However, many small and micro industries did not receive sufficient funds and did not have pollution control measures, especially those established before 1990. Our industries are concerned about reducing environmental pollution, but they lack funds to implement green initiatives or to prevent industrial pollution. The loan scheme helps the industries and industrial entrepreneurs to commence their green initiatives and perform such environmentally friendly steps. In that, today we are introducing a proper system of funding through the project management unit under my ministry for our industries to overcome funding problems in their environment related industry development. We are planning to distribute more than 5 billion rupees under this scheme. I assure you that the project management unit under this ministry with the participating credit institutions will deliver the loans to the industries and entrepreneurs throughout Sri Lanka and play a key role in the 2030 SDG targets of the government.
Sri Lanka Tourism, under the guidance of the Ministry of Tourism Development and Christian Religious Affairs, has announced plans for the third edition of Christmas Fest with the aim of transforming the city of Colombo into a tourism wonderland from the 20th to the 22nd of December.
Christmas Fest will be declared open by the President himself. So that's a very important announcement. And the Christmas tree, Christmas treat will be opened by the Prime Minister. So the two heads of state have realized the value of this event, and they are participating regarding the opening of both these events. Then number two, funds for this event, they are not using any government funds. The private sector is the main driver. President of the Retailers Association has been good enough to invite all the retailers to come in. And at the same time, there are many sponsors from the private sector. I don't think we are announcing the names of those institutions. Last year also it was the same. This year the contributions are going to be more. So that is very important. And this function is for Christmas as well as the year ending to usher the new year of year 2018. Therefore all are welcome. And particularly for the Retailers Association, I must say that the government's new proposal, the VAT refund, is going to have a tremendous impact on their sales, which is coming into operation, I think, from January. On the 17th of December, there is another major event. I think again the Ministry of Megapolis and the Tourism are jointly doing it. That is 100 to 125 Chinese couples from China are coming here to celebrate their marriage. That will be at the CMC, if I am not mistaken. That's the venue. And after that at the Water's Edge.
Time for us to step in for a short break. Do stay with us for more news when we come back. Welcome back. You're watching The State of Business. Director General of the Department of Meteorology, S. Premaral, convened a media conference this afternoon to give an update regarding the prevailing weather conditions in the country. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by changing weather patterns.
විශේෂයෙන් අද දිනේ සහ හෙට දිනේ වගේ අපේ බස්නාහිර ඒ කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ බස්නාහිර සබරගමුව මධ්‍යම වගේ ප්‍රදේශවල ඒ වගේම අම්පාර දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ ඒ වගේම දකුණු කොටස්වල සමහර වෙලාවට අපි කියන්නේ අර ප්‍රහාරාත්මක සුළංගේ ප්‍රවාහයක් එන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ ඇත්තෙන්ම මේ තරම් අපි ඒ කියන්නේ මේ තද සුළං ප්‍රවාහයක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් මම එකක් මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ. මේ වගේ පද්ධතියක් තියෙනකොට ඒ කියන්නේ මේ වගේ අඩු පීඩන කලාපයක් ඊට පස්සේ පීඩන අවපාතයක් අනිත් එක තමයි මේක මේ පීඩන අවපාතය ඉදිරි පැය 48 තුළ අධි පීඩන අවපාතයක් දරුවෝ ඒ කියන්නේ ගැඹුරු පීඩන අවපාතයක් දක්වා වර්ධනය වීමට හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා.
In more developments tonight, Jetwing Symphony Limited, the investment arm of Jetwing Hotels, recently announced the opening of its initial public offering in a bid to raise between 753 and 904 million rupees to invest in several new properties in Sri Lanka and to expand overall operations. JSL intends to offer 50.2 million ordinary voting shares to the public from 14th December, which is a 10% stake at a price range of rupees 15, 16, 17 and 18 per share.
Incorporated in 2007, JSL will function as the Jetwing Group's investment arm for the future. Its current portfolio includes Jetwing Yala, Jetwing Kaduruketha, Jetwing Lake, Jetwing Surf and Jetwing Colombo 7. Another two properties, Jetwing Candy Gallery and Jetwing Reef in Upueli, will be commissioned in the future. Jetwing Symphony has recorded a revenue growth of 44.5% to 734.7 million rupees during the financial year of 2016-2017 in comparison to the 508.4 million rupees earned during the previous financial year. Moreover, the group is exploring opportunities to expand its footprint beyond Sri Lanka in tourist hotspots such as Myanmar and Laos.
Finally, Jetwing will have a company that will be publicly listed, along with, as some of you may know, Lighthouse, Jetwing Lighthouse was the first, where at that time we had a marriage with Haley's, and that we had gone public with that single property. But this will be the first time that we are coming out on our own and in inviting the public also to partake in Sri Lanka's journey. I know many would ask what's happening to Sri Lanka's tourism. And let me tell you one thing, that the arrivals that you're talking of today, that you see the figures that you see today, is coming in purely on the safety and security factor. Sri Lanka's now the number one turnaround point since 2009 has been the safety and security, and that continues well, and with that we are extremely confident that the future will even get better. So far we haven't had a targeted marketing campaign for the destination, and that's bound to happen. The industry, not only ourselves, but all of us in the industry are putting a lot of pressure on the current government to start the marketing program. That's the need of the hour. And once that happens, we are quite confident that it will start happening in 2018. And once that happens, tourism numbers, the quality that we want the destination to receive. We might say today we are fighting, the formal sector is fighting probably for the 50-60% of the market share that is coming in. We are looking at increasing that segment and the numbers to grow in the high net worth travelers to Sri Lanka, and we are very confident that will happen. With that happening, the investments that are taking place will obviously fall in line, and we are very confident that tourism will be the largest foreign exchange earner within the next 5 years at least.
Let's have a look at how the stocks performed today after this short break. Welcome back to the show. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all share price index dropped 9.64 points to close at 6,380.91, and the S&P SL20 dropped 7.94 points to close at 3,708.56. Turnover was 1.2 billion rupees and 28.4 million shares were traded. And now let's take a look at the day's foreign exchange rates. And that winds up the show for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Until then, thank you for joining us. Good night.